We're 7 weeks into the Carnival and we haven't yet had a proper chat with Mike de Kock. Vercingetorix and Mubtahaj are just two of the horses that have so far stamped themselves as being real contenders for Dubai World Cup night. But Mike has several stars that we haven't yet seen, so we're going to try and get a word with him and find out what his plans are.
Somewhere I heard that life is a test. I've been through the worst, but I still give my best.
You've spoken about them travelling and it hasn't worked out that well this year. I think I'm right in saying you got them here a month earlier. Has that made it worse, better?
The thing was, we got out a month earlier, but we were in a quarantine station where you couldn't work at all. So there was no exercise, whereas the previous year we worked right through it. So it's been disastrous in terms of their fitness. They only started, although they got here a month earlier, they came off no base in fitness. They came off the base of 90 days doing nothing. Very hard to get a horse to peak in 90 days, thereafter. And I think that's what's held a lot of them back. It's not all, some deal with it. But that's been the key this year, and obviously it also ups the chance of injury when you're trying to push the fitness.
Is there anything you can do to counteract that next year?
Just go to a different quarantine station, where you can exercise. The problem was this year that quarantine station wasn't available to us. So we're at the mercy of the shippers and the people in Mauritius, unfortunately.
And there's no end to this crisis on the horizon?
Well, I think so. I think there's genuine wanting of fixing it up from the Dubai side. I think they're sympathetic to our problems, but obviously they want to make sure that their biosecurity remains intact as it is. Sheikh Hamdan himself is very keen. He's got some wonderful horses with me in South Africa, which we'd love to see campaigning internationally. And I know there's a willingness, I think, now on people's parts. It's just, politicians, getting people together. I think that the science is there. We all know what's got to be done. In certainly South Africa only wants to do what the UAE wants. What the UAE sees as fit to keep their biosecurity intact, we'll do. But we need to know what it is.
Let's talk a bit about some of your other horses. Vercingetorix, I think, that's got everyone excited about the Dubai turf following that win last time. Has he come on since then?
I haven't done much with him. As I've said before, he's quite a fragile horse, and I'm really, sort of just looking at duty free with him. We're going to run him in the Jabal Hatta, and we'll, it'll gain with the view of the duty free being, we're hoping for his best performance. But he's been pretty good. He's been really good this year, in terms of soundness and issues and what have you. We've kept him fresh. He trained through most of the summer in England, just rehabilitating him, getting the muscles back going again and sorting the feet out and what have you. So, he's had a long, slow prep, which is great, which is what I like, which has probably helped him a lot.
Do you feel you know sort of more about him now, with him being a horse who's a bit tricky in the mornings? You can't really tell how fit he is.
Well, no, I mean, if you worked him in the morning, you think he wouldn't work, he wouldn't win a 0 to 60 if he's on his own. But he steps up to the plate sometimes when he's in company. But listen, it's just a matter of just keeping the horse happy. It's just learning to deal with the situation, deal with the travelling, deal with the different tracks. It's the other thing as well this year, you're dealing with a completely different track. So, some horses skeletally deal with it, others don't.
It doesn't look like there's a huge amount of opposition at this stage for the Dubai turf. Hopefully you won't bump into one like you did last year.
Well, sure, I certainly hope I don't, but that was a superstar that beat us last year. And we were pretty much well clear of the third horse, but it is his best trip, and right now it's not stacking up to be the strongest race on the field, but those things do change closer to the time.
Let's talk a bit about Mubtahaj, because he's been an absolute star for you. He's very gallant in defeat, I thought, last week. Yes,
I thought he fought back well. He might have been a little intimidated down at the rail with the horse on his outside, which can happen with the young horses. I feel he's just getting better and better. I think the further he goes, the better he'll be as well. And if he won things 3 runs ago, he was a maiden, So I think he's made some giant steps, really, in terms of his fitness and his ability. So I'm more than happy the way he's going on. I think at this stage of the game, him and Muftul look like the 2 principals for the derby. There's been nothing. Well, I don't know of anything shipping in that would be any much better than they are. They look like they're shaping up to fight it out.
Do you go for the Bastakir with him or sit it out?
I'm going to, yeah, because I like to keep them running fit and keep them hard. He's tough, he eats well, I don't think the experience will do him any harm. I felt, you know, after him being down at the rail and the other horse being on his outside, that he could maybe just do with a little bit more mental toughness. He did come back at the end, given it to him, but you know, another run I don't think is going to do him any harm. You know, if I go back on the derbies I've won, we've generally gone that tried and tested route, barring, I think Monsieur was one we kept out of the Bastic here, for good reason, because he was finicky, you know. So this horse isn't. He's a different type.
He surprised you at all how he's adapted to the dirt here? Because he seems to love it.
Well, not really. You know, he was a horse I was disappointed he got run over twice in maidens in Newmarket. But he looks a different horse since he's been out here in the UAE and got out of the cold and sun on his back. He's just a different horse. He weighs a lot more. He's bigger, stronger. Being by Dubawi, you would have thought he would have a chance of going on the dirt, which he shows now that he did. So we always thought we had a bit of a chance there, but you never know until you try. And once he won that maiden, being a 2-year-old with the older horses, I was actually quite impressed with it. You know, we run 2-year-olds with older horses in South Africa quite often, and it takes exceptional ones to beat them normally.
With regards to the dirt, how are you feeling about it sort of 6-7 weeks into the carnival?
My thoughts are not changed on it. You know, I think it has shown a clear track bias. I mean, not 100% of the horses that said Andy win, but most of them do. And I still think it takes a different type of horse, you know, a really strong, gutsy horse that can hold his speed for a good while, you know, and fight them off to win in the dirt. It's, you know, it's obviously just completely different to what we had here before with the all-weather. It gives us, you know, I mean, when you travel horses now, you've got to bring that type of horse. Whereas before you could bring a turf horse and you knew he was going to perform on the Tapita as well, and you could switch, you gave yourself more opportunities. We've now got less opportunity. You have to have a certain type of horse for the dirt and a certain type of horse for the grass. So, you know, in that way, it's made it tougher on internationals and the travellers. It's tilted, seismic tilt in the favour of America. Perhaps that was, you know, what the plan was. But certainly now, with us bringing a turf horse here, is a turf horse. It's not a turf horse that goes on to Peter as well, or with a horse that goes on turf. So, you know, it's changed the picture of the carnival.
When you're looking for horses for next year, will you bear that in mind and maybe buy a slightly different type of animal?
It's completely different. You know, we're shopping in different places now. When we're going to buy yearlings now, we're going to buy with different pedigrees. Certainly from our operation, it's changed things completely.
Let's talk a bit about some of the stars that we haven't seen yet. I was very excited when Vera Africa got an entry this week. When did we see her?
Super Saturday. Yeah, I just about ran it because the thing is that she's just sort of, for me, starting to change now in the last 10 days. And I just thought, you know, she's actually just on the up. You know, they can stick her in a race now that might just knock her. It's not going to help us for Super Saturday. So I'm hoping the next 2-3 weeks into Super Saturday we'll get her to get more and more on the up. And if she improves the way she's going now, I think she'll be ready and really well for Super Saturday.
So she's shown you all the right signs that you want to see from a horse.
She's starting to now. She was battling at first, just battling to deal with, you know, working on the dirt here and just not getting there, you know. Whereas now she is.
And what about Pylon? We haven't seen him so far.
Pylon's another one. He had a setback getting here. Soundness-wise, he's now 100% sound. I'm probably looking at the Birch now. He's proven on dirt in South Africa. So if we can have him fit enough for that, otherwise I might just give him a sprint just to prep him for the Godolphin Mile. But capable dirt horse, whether he's good enough to win at this level here, remains to be seen. You know, he was the best of an ordinary bunch of dirt horses in South Africa. Our dirt racing there would be 20% in the area that we are of the races, but of a much lower standard than it would be here, you know.
All right, okay, that's interesting. And one more I haven't asked about. Yorker came from Jeff Woodruff. He's quite exciting.
Yes, he is. You know, he's a horse that everyone seems to expect a lot of, and I'm confused as to how good the horse is. You know, he doesn't show me that he's that good. You know, I know he can run. When I say he's that good, I mean he's rated 118. I don't see him as a 118 horse. He hasn't really given it to us, you know, in work or anything like that. See, we're getting a lot of interference. We're looking at the Zabil Mile. I'm not sure he'll run because I'm still not 100% happy with the horse yet. He's just one of those that taking his time to come right. So we might just go straight into the Jabalatta. But at this stage, a trifle disappointing.
Okay, so would he possibly be one that you'll try and keep here over the summer for next year if the owners want to?
Well, the owners will probably want to ship him to Europe and try him there, you know. But you know, I mean, he's got to show quite a bit more improvement.
Looking beyond Dubai, you'll have a base in Newmarket again, obviously this year. And
yes, we'll have a couple there that come out of here well, or you know, or don't. Some of them just need time off there. Planning to send maybe a couple of horses to America as well, to other trainers. I think will be more suited. So we'll see. You know, this stage of the game, plans are up in the air.